Tales from the Table is a live play RPG podcast brought to you by a group of LGBT friends telling stories through the medium of tabletop role-playing games.
And I'm unconscious.
Sure are.
So you go to the Rose Spirit Tavern, and Albie is there, and he says, "What happened?"
Get me a towel.
He rushes off to get one.
Make it 6.
Now, this is an important detail I need to know. Where is the parchment?
I believe it's still
in my
clutched
hand.
in his hand.
Okay, it's still in his hand. Robert Puckett sees it and just kind of goes to Carter and says, "Now, where did you find that?"
Aren't you still unconscious?
I'm still unconscious.
Oh, here, as a matter
The
of
thing that's in his hand.
Oh, I don't know. Can I maybe get, maybe a Band-Aid?
I think
On account of all the blood gushing out of my shoulder.
Albie comes back
And also my hands.
And I think we need more than just a Band-Aid.
"Let me take you upstairs." And he kind of leads you up the stairs into one
Randal,
of the
keep an eye on
bedrooms.
that one. And the other 2 children. A lady must get undressed for a brief moment.
Robert Puckett brings you, what does Randall drink?
Whiskey.
Whiskey neat. Whiskey on the rocks. Whiskey rye.
on the rocks.
Okay, he gives you a whiskey on the rocks. And he says, what exactly happened? I have no idea what
we followed a trail into the sewers. And we came across these weird-looking clay figure men. Figure men.
Those are golems.
Those are
Please only
golems.
call them figure men for the rest of the conversation, Seth. I don't want to hear the right term come out of your mouth once.
Well, I have no idea what they are anyway, so yeah. Anyways, and then as soon as, we started fighting back from them attacking us, we kept going down through the tunnels and we ended up in this abandoned New Balance shoe factory somehow. And we eventually found the kids. And then we had to fight this.
Still doesn't explain where you got this piece of parchment.
I'm gonna come back downstairs. I'm still wounded, but I'm at least cleaned up.
We'll have
Albie has bandaged you a bit, too.
Oh, thanks, Albie. I'm gonna give you a butterscotch.
Okay. He
I
just kind of holds on to it.
I tell Robert, well, now you're going to have to ask Carter that. I was nowhere near the parchment when he had it in his hand.
You all saw it fall.
You're unconscious.
I know. That's why I'm upset about this right now.
I'm putting my earrings back in. I'm like, yep, that's correct, Randall. We'll have to wait till Carter wakes up.
I want him to tell it.
Now you've been to his home, right, Randall?
To Carter's home?
Yes.
Yes.
Wonderful. I'm going to take Carter's phone out.
Okay.
Unlock it. I've seen his pattern.
Okay.
I use face recognition.
Hold it up to your face. Find his brother's contact information.
Okay.
I'm going to call that number.
Carter, I haven't heard you in a while.
Not Carter. Don't worry, he's fine. Not in prison.
Who is this?
My name's Magnolia. I have been kind of taking care of Carter. That sounds much worse on the phone than I intended.
Well, where is he?
He hit his head and is passed out. Don't worry, checked, fine. No concussion, no nothing. Do you want to come pick him up? Should we bring him to you?
Robert Puckett pipes up and says, "I don't think that's a good idea."
No, we already established, Mr. Puckett, that this man has no concussion. He's just a little tired. Now, don't worry, we'll be on coming back now, but this boy deserves some rest.
We have plenty of space upstairs.
He is also a teenage boy and has a family who will be worried about where he is at.
She has a fair point. Robert Puckett kind of begrudgingly agrees that that's probably right. Probably for the best.
Wonderful. Now, Mr. What was your name, dear child?
Jimmy.
Jimmy. Well, Miss Jimmy, if you could just shoot on over a text of your address, I will bring your brother right on over.
Sounds good.
Wonderful. Randal, why don't you stay on here? You're as injured as I am. You haven't been bandaged up yet. I'll hop on up in an Uber, take him right on back, and I'll return shortly.
Okay.
Okay.
I hail an Uber and hop in it with Carter.
Okay.
I produce from my bag some smelling salts,
Okay.
and I wake him up.
Okay.
And I'm kind of
You're
like,
fine. You're in a Toyota Corolla.
Okay.
We're gonna go see your brother.
Okay.
You still got that parchment in your hand?
Yeah.
Mr. Puckett is awfully keen to see whatever that is. Now, I think Mr. Puckett is a fine and reasonable man, but I don't know what his intentions are quite yet. What's on that paper?
What is on the paper? Is it just a blank piece of paper?
On the paper, you see, on the edges of the parchment, you see like a border that's writing that you don't quite know.
Mm-hmm.
It looks old, and in the center is just a large symbol. Now, the back of the parchment does seem to be a little bit charred.
Mhm.
So it has some fire damage, but not. It doesn't seem like it came from when you destroyed the monster.
Mm-hmm.
It's more like when this was created, sort of.
Maggie.
Yeah.
When I grabbed the paper, I had a vision.
A vision?
Yeah. Like a premonition, I guess. Does that make sense?
May I touch you?
Sure.
I'll touch you.
I think the best way to resolve this would be you see the same sort of flash, and suddenly you're back in a sepia tone, 1920s sort of
Gotcha.
same. It's almost like a recorded message, but it's not.
And I do see Robert Puckett there, right?
You see Robert Puckett there, as well as the Lady Rose.
Excellent.
You also see 4 other people that seem to be in some sort of, like, they're related somehow, not like family related,
They're
but like
associated.
Yeah, they're associated. Thank you. That's the word. I was
Gotcha.
looking for.
so they're on their way home.
I don't know if we can trust them.
Carter,
Yeah.
do not tell Randall I said this. You're a very bright boy.
Well, I appreciate it, Miss Maggie.
I'm gonna head back to the tavern. I need to tell Randall about this.
Should I keep the paper?
Yes, for the time being.
Okay.
When in doubt, claim youthful ignorance. Say, oh, I just forgot it at home. Or, oh, I left it in my other backpack. Kids still carry backpacks? My daughter ain't been in school for like 3-4 years now. I have no idea.
I mean, I don't usually carry a backpack, but yeah.
I was to college.
I know, but not to high school. It's a whole different world. I'm gonna have a chat with the Lady Rose. I won't tell her anything about the vision. That's gonna be our little secret. I'll tell Randall if you like. If you like, you can tell Randall.
I don't think he'd
I'll
get
leave
it.
that. He does have a ghost child.
Yeah, but it's different.
He does have a Pokemon in the form of an 8-year-old boy.
5.
You just say apropos of nothing. You're in the Rose Tavern, just like combing your hair. 5.
No,
Albie just shoots you a glance.
I do feel like this is something we need to discuss amongst ourselves, but at the moment, the Rose Tavern is the best source of information we got for this, so...
And when, like, those people, like, this wasn't the only object, like, which
Exactly.
means there's probably more monsters, too.
So, I will let you talk to Randall about this.
Okay.
You boys seem to have a way about each other. You have means of communication.
It's called text.
It's just much... I know how to text. I was the one who unlocked your phone and called your brother.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you have much more patience with the man than I do, if we're being entirely honest. He reminds me a lot of my son, and I just want to smack him. And I don't think that's going to be a great professional sort of relationship. And oh, look, there's that must be your home. I'm assuming the young fidgety man there must be your brother.
Yeah, that's Jimmy.
I will briefly step out of the car and shake hands with Jimmy.
Okay.
Leave all the questions of why his brother was hanging out with a spry young black woman of but 45, no more.
Definitely.
Yeah, if you're gonna tell him you're 45, you're gonna need to roll to manipulate.
He's gonna tell him that I'm 45. I would never say a number. And then I will head back to the Rose Tavern.
Okay.
Man, Jimmy.
I have texted
James.
you a cat gif.
Okay. It's been a real weird couple of days.
I'd say
What time is it?
10:30.
Oh, okay.
Before curfew.
I made home of our curfew. Hey, do you know if Martha's got any more of those pot stickers?
Yeah, Ma has stuff in there.
I'm real hungry. I'll tell you more about what happened when we have some alone time, but I want to go eat and then maybe take a shower and a nap.
Yeah, you smell like shit.
It's because I waded through shit.
That sounds like a story for later.
Yeah.
Jimmy receives a text message on his phone.
Okay. Wait,
Say-
did you copy?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
It is Magnolia. It just says, "This is Magnolia, just in case your brother gets into more trouble." Cat gif.
Hey, Connor.
Yeah.
Wait up. Where the fuck is this bitch you've been hanging out with?
She's actually very nice. She's a very nice old lady that saved my
Jimmy
life a
gets
couple
a text. Language.
times. She's... Where is she?
I'm
Where is
still
she?
right here in the Uber. He hasn't left yet. I'm right here.
You go inside.
Go inside.
What have
And
you been doing this whole
he's
time?
sitting
I'm
in a
sitting
chair
in
reading a
an
book.
armchair reading The Awakening.
He's not lost eye contact with Robert Puckett the entire time.
No, I'm reading The Awakening by Kate Chopin
In the Rose Spirit Tavern.
in
Okay.
the Rose Spirit Tavern.
With a knife.
No.
Okay.
And then I go back to the Sully mansion.
You read a chapter of the book, put your drink back up and go, bye.
Albie approaches you, Randal, and says, "Would you like me to address those wounds?"
Yeah, I would appreciate that very much. Thank you.
Okay, and he bandages you up. You finish your drink. Is there anything else you wanted to do in the Rose Spirit Tavern?
No, I want to go back to my room and kind of ponder on the events that happened today.
Okay. Robert Puckett gives you a very stern look as you leave.
Don't forget to tip. Tip your bartender.
Oh, I absolutely did.
Okay.
That's not why he was giving you a stern look. It was because you guys took the parchment without saying anything.
I was unaware of the parchment leaving with Carter.
That's fine. He wasn't. So, you leave and you go back to the Sully mansion. And you're not but 2 steps in and you hear Jacqueline say, "Well, you're in early.
Early? It's 10:30.
You usually come in a lot later."
Both times you've come home.
Well, I would assume that it's too late for me now because I've been It's been a really long day.
You look tired.
I am very
I would say,
tired.
would you like me to cook you something? But I'm guessing you're just real tired.
Yes, thank you, Jacqueline.
You head on up.
Okay, I will do that. Have a good night.
You too. She has not left the couch from the last time you saw her. At least you assume she hasn't, because she's in a similar outfit, doing the same thing she was doing before.
I'm really excited for the budgeting romance between these two.
I sit down on the bed, take a deep sigh, and then I lay my head down and go to sleep.
What's that?
Break the Lord, my soul to keep.
Before you even, like, start to... Wait, you're not gonna shower or anything? You just, like...
You're gonna lay in your shit covered
he did
clothes.
Get cleaned up. He got cleaned up at the Rose Spirit Tavern, and
Okay.
now he dressed his wounds.
Okay.
Right.
As you start to doze off, Sam pipes up and says, "It's here.
Sam, what's here?
The reason we came.
The reason?
Yeah, it's here.
How do you know this?
They have it.
They? At the Spirit Tavern?
Yeah. Albie showed it to me.
Well, this is definitely something that we'll address tomorrow. But you left me something to think about overnight. I thank you kindly, Sam. Have a good night.
Good night." Hey all, Mitchell, your DM and keeper here. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our Patreon at TFTT Podcasts on patreon.com. You could end up as a character in our campaign. We're also on Twitter at the same handle, TFTT Podcasts. You can also find us on Spotify, Google Play, and Podbean.
I have had my Uber drop me off up the street.
From the Rose Spirit Tavern?
Yes.
Okay. You see the silhouette of Lady Rose smoking out of one of the upstairs windows.
I'm going to step into probably just a little late night shop that probably has probably like a late night liquor store.
Okay.
We're not in Utah. Those things exist.
Mhm.
I'm going to grab like a $30 bottle of wine.
Okay.
Merlot, 3-year vintage.
Okay.
Something classy. I'm going to enter in, nod to Robert.
He just glares at you.
Is the lady upstairs?
I believe so.
Might I borrow a wine opener and 2 glasses?
He produces these things.
Thank you very much, Robert. Is something the matter? You seem cross.
I'm perfectly fine, ma'am.
Oh, now, Robert, sweetheart, don't you be lying to me. I can tell when a man's upset. You tell me what's wrong.
I want to know where you got that parchment.
Oh, silly me. I completely forgot. Dropped Carter off. Passed him right on off to his brother. No longer my problem. Completely forgot to grab it. Old age must be catching up to me, you know. I'm creeping on to 50.
Mighty convenient.
That I'm creeping on to 50?
Know that you forgot the parchment.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I must have been distracted by the gaping slug wound in my arm.
Albie immediately, pops in. He's like, is it still giving you trouble?
No. A mild nuisance, if anything, but nothing I can't deal with. If you'll excuse me, Robert, I must have a private word with the lady.
Albie does show you up to...
Give him another butterscotch.
Okay. He just kind of holds on to it.
As I assumed you would.
So up on the second floor where you had been before.
I've only been briefly, so describe, please.
Yeah. So you go up the stairs and there is a hallway of doors, and then there is another set of stairs that go up to the second floor. This is a 3-story building.
Gotcha.
And so you go through this one. You assume there's a small bedroom, maybe where like Robert and Albert stay.
Mm-hmm.
There's the washroom you had been in before, and there's probably like a little reading nook or something, just kind of a living space where they can be, where they're not downstairs. And then you go upstairs, and there's some more rooms, but the doors of these ones look like they don't get used very often.
Okay.
So there's 5 rooms up here. And then at the very end of the hallway, there is a door that's decorated with like decorations around it and everything, which you presume to be the Lady Rose's like suite, basically, where her office / living quarters.
Gotcha.
Albie turns to you and says, "This is the ladies' quarters. I will let her know that you're here and that you're waiting. I will be right back."
Of course, dear Albie.
And he pops in real quick. You wait probably a minute or so. Opens the door, and this is a very red room. It's got a large red carpet in the center of the room. There are red drapes on all of the windows. There's like 4 windows in this room. It seems like a lot for like a room that's not technically a apartment building.
Well, that's fine. As long as Albie's not, like, saying red room, I think I'm good to go.
And, but the Lady Rose is not in the room when you first enter.
Okay.
There is a large desk at one end of the room. There is a 4-poster bed with a red canopy.
Mm-hmm.
All of these are in a shade of rose red, to be exact.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There are pictures of just different sort of people. They're very film noir-esque photos. There is a record player that is playing some soft jazz. And there is what you assume is like a door to a bathroom or something.
Gotcha.
So, and
I need 2 points of clarification. Remind me what the table situation was?
there is a desk, there's a coffee table, there's a chaise lounge. Sorry, these are things I forgot to mention.
That's okay. I just need to know. I need to know the table, like a small, like dining table. Like...
There's also a small bar.
Okay.
Just like a small, like office bar, like people have.
Gotcha. Gotcha. I will thank Albie yet again. The second question that I have, my apologies, is do I recognize the artist of who is playing? I will look one up. If I do, you do not have to think of who is playing right now.
I'll give you a time period. It's definitely from between 1919 and 1927.
I don't think I remember the exact year right off the top, but
yeah, I just wanted to give you a range of popular artists during that time period.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because you would be familiar with.
I would. I just wouldn't know the
jazz.
year immediately. Yeah. Like. All right. Okay. I'm going to set the bottle down on the coffee table. Is the coffee table right next to the bed?
No, it's next to the chaise.
Okay.
So you've got the office space on the far end. The center is kind of like a sort of...
Gotcha. Just kidding. I'm going to go to the office side, set the wine down on the office bar along with the 2 glasses. I will keep the corkscrew in my hand.
Okay.
And I'm just going to sort of like that bookshelf that I peruse the spines of.
Yeah.
Okay, I will do so.
Okay. A woman with dark hair, and she's wearing a rose-colored dressing gown because she's kind of turned in for the evening.
Yeah.
And she says, awfully late hours to be requesting an appointment.
I do apologize for such a late call, but business is best left to be done when it is hot. Wine? I brought a fine Merlot. A job well done, so it deserves a nice glass of wine, does it not?
I couldn't agree more.
Delightful. Shall we sit? Shall we retire to the balcony?
I think we're fine. Here, let's just sit.
Delightful.
Now, there are 2 chairs around the coffee table with where the chaise lounge is.
Perfect.
And she kind of lounges onto the chaise lounge.
I will open the bottle, pour ourselves a good, not like a, hey, we've just been quarantined inside our houses for 2 weeks and let's get drunk on box wine. No, it's a respectable amount of wine. As I present hers first, and then I take a seat.
She doesn't sip the wine.
Nor do I.
Right. Okay.
We'll wait until my host has a sip, of course.
But she does kind of
Swirl it.
swirl her
Admire the bouquet, the legs.
and she does say, now I do want to apologize for my attire.
Nonsense. We are both ladies of an age past the teen years. I don't think impressing anyone at a late call is really our forte anymore. Would you not agree?
You make a fair point. I try to be as presentable as possible when I'm talking to coworkers and my peers, especially ones with as much class and sophistication as you do.
Why, I do thank you, and it is upon that point that I'm afraid that I must both reject the class and sophistication, as I must get directly to the point of I have not been told of how to refer to you.
Most call me the Lady Rose.
Ah, well, Lady Rose, I wish to apologize again for calling upon you at such a late hour, but I really must ask, what happens next? What sort of happens now?
Now that you've been indoctrinated into our band of misfits.
A little baptism of fire, as it were, yes.
Quite literally.
I can assure you, I mean you and your fellow compatriots, no ill will.
Oh, I wouldn't assume that you would. Anyone who is sophisticated enough to listen to the fine gentleman of Jelly Roll Morton, I would not assume would be able to hurt a fly. That's not so much what I was inquiring about. I mean, is there a report that we must write up? What sort of pay dispersal is that? Is this the sort of work that gets paid? I assume Now, I do not mean to be rude, my dear Lady Rose, but I did have a slug tooth about 6 inches long dive into my shoulder. I'm not entirely confident insurance will cover such things.
When you mentioned the slug, she kind of gets really worried for a second, and then she kind of beckons you to bring your glass forward a bit, and she kind of runs her hand over both of them, and you see both of the glasses glisten a tiny bit. I propose a toast to a job well done and to new friends. She gestures with her glass to basically to toast and to drink.
I'll clink glasses.
Okay.
Does she drink?
Yeah, but she watches you to see if you drink as well.
I, with the height of southern poise and charm, drink deeply as I take but a single sip.
Okay, you start to feel your wounds close, and you heal 4 harm.
All right. Good news. No longer unstable. Still have one arm, but we can deal with that later. We can sleep it off.
Yeah, by the time we get to the next mystery, you'll all have healed anyway.
Yeah. Lady Rosa, do you think not only sharing a glass of wine with the kindly old woman, but also for the rejuvenating conversation? However, I do feel inclined to point out that you have thus far evaded my question of the terms of our employment and cooperation.
I'm a lady of much information, and I can assure you that what you're doing is helping the betterment of humanity itself. You will be reimbursed for any damages done to you and your property, and you will be given privy to our databases and libraries of information on anything that you would desire, as well as any training or answers to questions on the supernatural as it affects you and the world around you. So to answer your question on pay, there is a sense of the word in payment itself. Not exactly, but we can pay you in terms of something more valuable.
I see. And as a point of reports, are we to report to you directly verbally, as a written form? Because my Lady Rose, while I am not acquainted with pen and paper, I think you will find it to be rather difficult to get an upstart 17-year-old to write you a paper.
Usually Puck will be the one who takes care of this information for me.
I see, of course. Once one is high up in enough of a... I see. Does make quite a bit of sense. Once you are high up enough in an organization, menial tasks such as paperwork are usually pretty tired.
Albie, you can leave. We ladies should be fine here. And it is at that moment that you notice that Albie
was in the room. Yep.
He's been there the whole time. And he leaves. I apologize.
Nonsense. Albie is a sweet boy.
I see a lot of myself in him.
His parents...
She seems confused by this question.
I kind of try to trail it off because it would be rude of me to just ask what happened.
Mm-hmm.
But seeing that I'm getting no response, I will continue with... Around often?
Albie's parents are a touchy subject for him.
I do see my deepest sympathies. I apologize for crossing over a boundary, a threshold that has just recently provided itself.
Were there any other questions that you had, or... Well, I do enjoy your company.
No, it is quite late. I must retire. It's just been quite a tiring day, and I do appreciate the time that you've set aside for me. I'm kind of doing a British now. Hello. How do you do? No, I really must get back. My dear little ones, they do worry about me if I stay out far too late. But, please enjoy the wine. A celebration. Newfound camaraderie, as it were.
Well, thank you.
And as I excuse myself, I'll finish my glass. Not quite.
Okay.
Not quite. I will leave a supple of it.
Okay.
That I will place upon the bar. As it seems most apropos.
You could set it on the coffee table. That would be fine.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I don't want you going out of her way. And
Should
as
probably
I
get Albie to do it anyway.
Well, yeah, probably. But still, it's the thought that counts, the principle of the matter. As I go to leave, a thought strikes me, and I bid her Good evening, and may the Loa watch over you as I exit. Not entirely sure what provoked me to bid her farewell with my grandmother's farewell. And I think nothing of it as I return home. I do return the corkscrew to Robert, who I assume is still grim-faced.
Yeah, no, he does not. He's not a fan of you right now.
Oh,
You
dear.
do not seek Albie when you leave, though.
Okay. Dear Robert, do smile. Your face is much more enjoyable when it is in a smile.
I'll take
Oh,
that.
and I leave a butterscotch on the counter for Albie.
I'll make sure
See
he
that he
gets
gets
it.
it. Thank you. As I
Good
leave,
evening.